basically just got here, okay? We're having a little something to eat today. There's a barbecue session going on. I've been planning on recording today, but I was sitting on the couch and this article was served to me and it made me click immediately. And it's called Why TikTok's New Keto Diet Trend Has the Internet Fuming. And you know, I definitely was interested to find out why. So we thought we would just read through the article and then talk about it with you guys, see what you guys think about all of this. I haven't even read it yet, so let us begin. Shall I? Go ahead. Eating nutritiously and achieving balance with your meals and treats are part of life's food journey. After all, a diet without yummy desserts from time to time or occasional trips to Chick-fil-A or favorite pizza spot is just not living, in our humble opinion. Okay, first of all, let's stop there. My first thing is to say that, you know what's not also living? Being completely out of control, feeling sick all the time, being depressed, being a prisoner in your own body, and feeling out of control. To me, this is living now. Living consciously, make more conscious decisions about what we're eating and try to be healthier and happier overall. So Chick-fil-A and pizza does not equal a happy life. This is prioritizing living to eat rather eating to live. But okay, here's the next sentence. But if you follow a keto diet, you may disagree. So there you go. According to the New York Times, the keto diet is the most popular diet out there. Hey guys, we've made it. The high-fat, low-carb diet requires followers to prioritize fats over sugars. For this reason, keto diet followers tend to skip things like pretzels, starchy vegetables, sweet potatoes, carrots, bananas, beer, and the like, and instead opt for foods like meat and cheese. This is like what everyone says when they talk about the keto diet. Like, you only eat bacon meat and sausage and cheese. And it's like, no, I don't. I eat, veggies. I eat greens. I eat meat. We eat it that way more than we used to eat it. Right. I mean, I don't know. Bottom line, every diet is about choices, and the keto diet is no different. Okay. Groundbreaking. That said, per a New York Post article, one TikTok mom named Abby Durlwanger, is that how you say it?
That's what I said.
Sorry, Abby, if we're butchering your name. Also known as House of Keto, which we do know on TikTok, has ignited a keto diet war by revealing her children also follow this diet's restrictions. The outlet shares that Durlwanger's posts about her kids' diet have resulted in both death threats and threats to report her and her husband to Child Protective Services, even though the mom of two said she consulted a pediatrician. I get at least 100 messages a day from people telling me to kill myself because of the way I feed my family. While that's obviously unacceptable, is this diet over the top for kids? So basically, this dietitian says that we typically don't suggest any diets for kids because food restrictions can create disordered eating patterns. And when adults label food as bad, wrong, or off limits, kids may become more anxious and stressed about eating, which can lead to childhood eating disorders. We don't have kids. Hi, if you are new here, Sarah and I do not have children. So it's kind of hard for me to tell somebody what they're doing is right or wrong in that regards. I know that parents are pretty much like, stay out of my lane if you have an opinion about the way I parent. But if you were to tell somebody, my children eat healthy veg and meat, a nice chicken with nice sauce and veggies, and they love veggies and they eat it, you would never think twice about that. But the second you label it as keto, now you're getting death threats. But we might not have kids, but as someone that grew up that was obese, technically by whatever standards, we were technically obese in 7th or 8th grade. I kind of wish that my parents restricted my diet more. I mean, not like it was their fault. I don't think that they even knew, to be quite honest. When they talk about disordered eating in children, you can either go either way. Either you go off the deep end this way or you go off the deep end that way. I remember I used to be so angry when people would try to make me eat spinach. Yeah. But it was because I just didn't have the palate for it. And I wish that I was introduced to that earlier because I would have maybe understood the way I felt when eating the garbage instead of eating clean. Right. And you know what? I'm sorry, but I have to go back to 1,000 years ago. You can go to the store and pick out whatever you want. And before, this was just not how humans would eat. Yeah. You would have a certain amount of food and you would eat it, and there would be things available like fruits during the summer and starchier vegetables during the winter that would keep you alive until the spring would come, and then it would start all over again. You can go to the store and find literally anything that you want at any time of the year. Someone's growing it. That just wasn't the case. Maybe learning restriction is something that we need to teach the next generation. To adapt to this civilization and agriculture and availability of food, you need to be restricted, right? I mean, look at most people are overweight now, and maybe it's because they weren't restricting themselves or learning that you can't just have everything that you want. Right.
You wouldn't allow a child to have a donut for every meal of the day, would you? But for some reason, when it's like a healthy, it's not a carb-full option. People think it's restricting, and I'm sorry, this pisses me off. I don't have children, but as someone who's grew up overweight, I wish I knew more.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more. It's like smoking. You tell all throughout high school, middle school, don't smoke, don't smoke, don't smoke. That's ingrained into you when you're in school, but it's not okay to be like, stay away from sugar, stay away from carbs, because...
Eat it only occasionally. The whole thing about keto, and it's very polarizing. In fact, very rarely, I think that also vegans get this as well. On vegans meals and keto meals, you'll see people like so enraged in the comments of these posts. I've always wondered why people get so mad about seeing keto stuff and vegan stuff as well. Like when I see a vegan recipe in my feed, I say, that sounds okay. I don't know if I'd try it. I don't go into the comment section and start, making fun of people or trolling it because somebody chooses not to eat any kind of animal products. It's like, hey, if that makes you happy, if you're doing it for ethical reasons, I totally get that, right? But for some reason, keto and vegans, they are the people that get it the most. And I think it's because a lot of people have guilt about the way that they live and the way that they know that they're out of control. And so when you talk to them about keto or veganism or whatever, you are an affront to what they're doing. You're pushing it in their face. They eat mostly carbs. And so you're making them feel bad about their life choices by just living your life choices. And that's why I think people get inflamed about that. And they're inflamed enough to send this woman death threats. If she were to just market it as, I feed my kids naturally gluten-free, grain-free, I doubt that she would be having the same reaction. So,
right.
House of Keto, we feel for you. We're so sorry you're going through that. As a content creator, you're also a person. As content creators, we definitely know what it feels like to get comments, hate comments, troll comments. I know that must be tough going through that right now, especially when other news sources and even us are picking it up and talking about it. I just wanted to add that in there.
But I'm sure that if you replaced everything with this article with vegans, you'd have the same reaction.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
People don't agree with them feeding vegan food to children either.
Right.
So I think that this article is clickbait, obviously. If keto is one of the largest diets, most popular diets, they know that someone's on keto is going to click on this. I think that the whole world looks at keto really negatively, and I think that there's a lot of big money behind making sure that keto doesn't succeed. Lobbyists from the wheat industries, corn industries, sugar industry. The lobbying industry for vegetables doesn't really exist. Here's another little tidbit from the article. It's important to avoid overindulging in a food group. Consider the fact that the American Heart Association says that kids in the United States generally consume around 81 grams of sugar daily. This amounts to more than 65 pounds of sugar a year. Imagine purchasing 65 one-pound bags of sugar and telling your kids to eat them. That might help put House of Keto's intentions into perspective. Well, now they're trying to justify.
Yeah, now they're trying to go the other way. She told the New York Post, it's about giving our kids the tools to build healthy relationships with food by making conscious decisions about what they put in their mouths and how those foods will impact their bodies, which we think is a great way to live. She's not saying that she never allows her children to have it, but most of the time they eat meat, veg, and fat. However, well-meaning doesn't necessarily mean being well. Glick said that the key to teaching your kids how to balance what they eat in a positive manner is cutting the carbs and their micronutrients out of a child's diet is the restriction of an entire food group, which is no way balanced nutritionally. So before cereal and wheat and all these things came into the world, people were eating vegetables, meat, and butter. That's what people were eating thousands of years ago, and yet that is not the way that we should be living.
This is just another example of keto being slandered, and if you read any of these articles, people are going at it in the comments. This is not unlike any other article, but now it's they're bringing kids involved into it, which to me is a
huge trigger for people.
People will be upset about this no matter what.
Honestly, I needed a little restriction growing up.
I'm not a doctor. We're not doctors. This is just our experience. We lived the other way with no restriction, and now we have been keto for almost 2 years, and we feel
2.5 years.
I don't even know with the panini how long it's been, but I don't feel hopeless anymore. There is some benefit to being in control. Some people think it's a prison. I feel like it set me free. I know what I can eat. I know what I can't eat. I know the consequences of eating the bad thing. And I can make that decision when the time comes.
This is the third time I'm saying this. We don't have children, but we would like to know what you guys think about this article. We will leave it linked below. If you are on TikTok, why don't you give House of Keto a follow? Send her your support. This is nothing but love from us to her in the situation. When you put yourself out there on the internet, sometimes it goes the wrong way. Maybe the algorithm served her into a different part of, because I think a lot of people who are keto would understand her line of thinking, and the way that she describes it is that she's just doing what she thinks is best for her children. And let us know what you think about this in the comment section below. Anyway, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins, signing out.